Hey everyone, Ted Simpson here, and just adjusting my lights because it looks like I'm a little bit in shadow. That's a little better. I think we got it. You don't want to see me. Hey guys, so here we are back for another video. Here we are in a 12 by 16 canvas, and I just thought I'd play around here really quick. No, it's not 6 in the morning on my day of upload. It's the night before. So I thought I'd do a fun little scene here. A little snippet of a scene. A snippet of a snippet. A part of a section. And just blow it up a little bit. Expand it. So, for those folks that have been following my newsletter or following the Bobtoberfest updates on the bobross.com, Facebook, Bob Ross, The Joy of Painting, lots of things been going on here. Look at this, see? Floppity canvas. Let's see if we can't fix it. Whoop. Oh. A little bit of water in the corners. And we'll see if that tightens up. Flippity floppity. Rub that in a little bit just to get it into the fibers there. As it dries, it tightens it up. So today, that's it. Look how quick that liquid white goes on when you use the big old brush. So today, just broke it out of the package, brand new palette. That other one was developed a crack. Ooh, I thought that was a crack. Ooh, that scared me. It was an eyelash. Yeah, the other palette developed a crack after a few years. I'm pretty rough on these, so I'm shocked and surprised it lasted that long. That was the longest lasting one. So, I have some old paint here. You can see it kind of performs a little bit different being 30 years old. Some of it's a little firmer. that brown could double as titanium white. So could the green. Yikes. Ugh. So could the yellow. It's all really, really firm. But that's all right. We'll get it to work. We'll get it to work. And canvas is tightening up a little bit, kind of pulled a little too tight. There's like some little thingies going on there, but it'll be okay by the time it dries. So, a snippet of a something, huh? Let's take maybe just a touch of the bright Alizeran Crimson, just a touch, and really beat the devil into that yellow, just to change the sky a little bit. Really work it in there. And let's just make a big old blob. Crisscross, crisscross. Push firmly to move the color and blend it into that liquid white. Hit it light just to take out any remaining brush marks. It's just that easy, folks. So, I'm going to go into just a touch of the blue, beat it into the red now. Still want something to the red side. Ooh, there we go. Now we're getting some color. Let's get to the red side of purple. Get some up in there. Clean some of that paint off. Ooh, let me clean a little more off. Clean it all off. And now let's just soften it. Ooh, boy. Create some nice transitions here. Little bits of the red. Allow it to blend a little bit into the yellow without making green, because it's not too blue. The purple is pretty red still. Lots and lots of back and forth. One instructor, I think it was Ada when I was down teaching at the Bob Ross workshop, she's just like, don't even take your brush off the canvas. And Bob does that quite often. You don't realize it until sometimes someone has to point it out, you know? You know, you can just get some more power just working it back and forth without really having to take your brush swinging left and right. Just sort of let it go. Take off a little more paint. I'm just stirring it into a paper towel here. Bob would, of course, just hit it on the easel. Any last little brush marks, just taking care of those. All right, now, ooh, I just bumped the table. Sorry about that. I'm going to take a little bit of that blue, work some more in there. Ooh, that's definitely to the bluer side. I could even put a little blue down here for our water. Definitely going to have some water today. Feels a little light on the liquid white down here. It's a little tougher to work in. Once it gets into the nooks and crannies, then it starts moving and sliding and getting all nice. Alright, let's clean some more paint off. I'm going to get a lot of that liquid white off my brush. I know there wasn't much on the water area there, but I don't want to lighten those up too much. So, okay. Let's soften that blue right into the purple. And bring the rest out if it needs it. Just a little right there. Maybe. A little more right there. Maybe. Even more. I don't like it. Clean that brush one more time. All right. Let's see. I think Bob did put a couple of clouds in here. They're just lazy old clouds, not too far away. This titanium white. A little softer than the other colors. That's as unusual. But you know, sometimes you just gotta give it a try and work with what you have. Because when you're out teaching or doing a demo, all of a sudden you get some funky paints. You know, sometimes out in the heat of a summer day, the paints want to get softer. Sometimes on a cold day, your paints might come out of the tray, your storage bin, almost, you know, stiff from being almost frozen. So you gotta anticipate and try different consistencies so you know how they work when it comes the day, you know. You might never know when you need that skill. There we go. A couple of instant little clouds there just by me hammering. Kind of a fun little scene. I'm kind of loath to put anything right there. Kind of like it. Maybe all of a sudden I was thinking I was going to put all this stuff right here. Now I put those beautiful clouds in. Now I'm thinking about shifting. So maybe let's take a little bit of that red blue. Maybe a little more. Add some white to it. Let's see what we get. Should be, can you guess? That's right. Ooh, lilac, lavender, a light purple. Now, is it too light for you? Is it too purple? Should it be something else? You can adjust it. Let's just see. Let's see what we can do. So I just took some of that color and some pure white, and look at that. Look at that color. That's a nice color for when if you want this next scene to be really far away. Any bit of white is going to help create that illusion of distance. But we're going to pop right on in. There's not going to be a mountain in this scene here today. So, let's see what we can do here. Now I still have some white on my brush, so it'll lighten up even more as I'm working it in. Loading that brush. Plenty of color. Look at that brush. Bristles are starting to stick together. And let's just use the corner of the brush and pull something down. Just touching, finding that corner, making a half, and then putting like the other half in. Ooh, there's a tall one. Guess we're going all the way across, huh? Oh, here comes that shaking easel syndrome. This is similar, I think, to one of my last paintings. 2 paintings ago? Maybe it was the last one. I lose track. Creating some mist and fog. Clean out my brush here. Just letting the liquid white do the work here. There we go. Ooh, I could put in another layer, but meh. Let us play around here, keeping it moving, keeping it grooving. I'm going to take some green, some brown, and mix those together. Let's make a shadow color. You know, take the rest of that crimson, a little bit of the blue, just to dull things down here. Just making a shadow color. Ooh, that blue kind of made a teal. Alright, so while I'm thinking what brush to use, I'm just wondering sometimes if I should do some more live streams. I've done it before. I don't know if you guys watch those after the fact or not. But you know, if you give me any kind of encouragement, I will do so. I will make some. Do some more live streams, so let's try this. And just put in some bushes. This is just the dark parts here. Just making little indications here. Leave a little mist in the foreground. I'm sorry, leave a little mist in the background. I can't talk. Already, I just changed up what I planned to do, just kind of going with it. So the plan was to make just kind of a line here, but I've already made this a little lower, so it kind of creates a different effect. Put in some even darker stuff, just a little bit of brown I'm tapping into. Darken things in the front a little bit. All right, so let's come in here and turn some of this into reflection. Just pull down vertical, softly, softly, and then even softer, blur that reflection sideways. It's easy to overdo it. Easy to overdo it. Now, I'll take my knife. Boy, this brown is firm. Taking just a little roll, and we're just going to rub it on. There we go. Create a little bit of sand here. Just a little bit of ground, a little bit of dirt. Something like that. A little bit of dirty white. Just brown mixed in with some white. Kind of marbly. And graze a little over it. Don't want a lot of detail. There we go. And I think I'll do the highlights before I put on the water line there. So let's come in here with just a touch of the liquid white. Definitely going to need to thin some of this yellow down. Tell you what, let me pull out a little bit flatter to work with. Easier to stipple. A little bit more liquid white. I'm kind of overloading it here just because I need some thinning agent. And you know, tapping's not going to do it. Pretty rare occasion here. I'm thinning it just by working it over and over with the little bit of liquid white, the cad yellow, and my knife. Make up a little pile of some workable color. Let's see how that works. There we go. And maybe just want to change it just a little bit. Add some green to it. Maybe even a touch of the dark. That'll darken it. I like that. Little bits of highlight here and there and here. Now, already need a little bit more of my highlight color here. Cad yellow, liquid white, and just a little bit of my background color to dull it down. Plenty of paint on the brush and it comes off very sparkly. Working in sections. And leaving a little bit of that shadow in the right places gives you that sense of difference, little extra planes happening in here, bushes in front of each other. Yeah. Reload and drop little ones in there, here and there. There we go. And as promised here, we'll take a touch of the liquid white. Get a little roll on it here, and let's just cut in the tiniest, thinnest of water lines. Just a hint. Now, working our way forward here, let's go ahead and mix up a much bigger pile. Some green, some brown, touch of blue, trying to stay out of the white. I'm going to add a single drop of paint thinner. With paint thinner, you want to be oh so conservative with it. You could even do a drop of the linseed oil, boiled linseed oil perhaps. And I'm sure there's other products out there that can thin down paint without changing the color. A little drop of liquid clear would make a good choice as well. So that didn't thin it down as much as I want, so another single drop there. I'm going to work that in. A lot of effort here. Meant to make this a fast painting. Should have used brand new paints, huh? Well, that was just my bad. All right, so let's make a nice big old leafy tree. Kind of coming into our foreground a little bit. I do like this oval brush. Get enough paint on there and reload as necessary. Hey, you could see, could have even left a couple of those blank, unhighlighted. Some land here. This tree kind of grows out of something here. Might as well bring this right on down, huh? Maybe we'll even have something here. I don't know. We don't have to decide right now. So, oh, I guess I gotta do it. I gotta clean that 2-inch brush. It's a big one. But I need to make some reflections and just that easy. I think I lost it a little. There, that's a little better. A little darker. Let's see here. We got our leafy tree. Let's have a big old evergreen too. Not sure I have enough paint. I think I have just enough for one tree. Let's see. Let's get it in there. It's a tall one, kind of a skinny one. Goes right on down, right on down. Maybe there's a little second little thing right there just to change it up a little. There we go. All right, so I'm going to come in here with Just a drop of the paint thinner. Come over here, grab just a touch of the blue. I want this to have a different look to it than the bushes, if possible. Before I do too much else, I'll tell you what, let me get a little bit of the liquid white, just a touch of the paint thinner, mostly liquid white. Maybe. A couple little sticks and twiggies in white this time. We may see some of them, we may not. Here we go. I'm going to make some highlight here. Very soft. All that lush looking leafy effect here. Just like that. It gets down there, it gets dark. And maybe just a little bit of white. Titanium white in that same color. Just want to make something new here. Just to give this one a little different flavor. There it goes, there it is. So I ran out of yellow. Need to get a little more on there. And with my liquid white, let's thin down that yellow. Might take a few seconds here. Got to work that white in there. Bring some of that green over. Too much liquid white and it looks kind of chalky, kind of a little too pastel. Make sure getting it on both sides of the brush across the width. There we go. That's thinned down now. That only took forever. Working my way down. It's getting there. I think it's kind of falling behind this tree, so let it get a little darker. Don't highlight too much there. There we go. Just a little bit. Here we are. Touch of this highlight, maybe. Push up a little grass here. Something to break that plane and give us some extreme foreground. All sorts of stuff happening there. But I'll finish that when I get to it. But now, do you know what's next? Do you know what's coming? Gotta have a little cabin here. So let's see if we can't do this. Let's make it, oh, right on up here. Boy, that is some thick paint. Just using these little rolls here. And just sort of block in the basic idea. That thin grass I tried to put on there wasn't the best idea. Let me get rid of some of that on the inside of my cabin here. There we go. Get all that thin stuff out of the way. Leave us with a little block cabin. I might be forced to just use the small edge of my knife here. To put in these dark shadows. Just lining up under this eave. And it is taking a few strokes. It's basically letting it mix with that little bit of paint. And then once it mixes, then I can get more of a flat pull. There we go. The problem is that the eave itself needs to be a little more prominent. There we go. Okay. Now, let's play around here. We got some white and some of that brown. Maybe even just a touch of blue. Cut off a little roll here. And let's have some old grayish blue shingles here. And maybe just a little extra bright ones right there. Okay. Can't forget, I usually do this last, but I'm just feeling like doing it right now. A little highlight on that. And let's mix up a little bit more of the brown and white. Get ourselves a little roll here. You know, I don't have the small enough blade here to do it with the big side, so we'll highlight it with the small edge. Giving some practice with that. Just grazing that knife down, letting it break. It reminds me of the mountains here, just trying to just soften that down without mixing too much. The more you go over it, it'll pick up that brown and just keep getting darker and darker. So, on the side here, this is just a little darker. I added just a little bit of brown into the highlight. I'm just going to zing it a little bit here. Then, wipe my knife clean, pull some of it down, let it mix with the brown, and it's hopefully noticeably darker on the side of my cabin. Nice little cabin. Cabin needs a door. Find the angle here and just touch and and then look at it and realize, ooh, maybe I just got to change the angle a little bit and try it again. Ooh, you got to be careful with it. A little bit of the liquid white. Give that little doorway a highlight. There it is. I tell you what, I'm feeling fancy. Maybe a little window on the side. Doink. Even that little window. Just something there to see it. There it is. But I think I'm going to come back here and just change the foreground stuff here, making this a little more lawn looking grass. Don't even have to do the cabinectomy that time. Just sort of put some grass covering the edge of the the bottom edge of the cabin, and boom, all of a sudden it pushes that right on down. All right. Take a little bit of that brown. Maybe we'll add a little bit more of a little fall over here. I do get students telling me all the time that they find their relatives' old Bob Ross kits. Want to know if they're okay to use. And hopefully you see here that they certainly can be. Some of them take a little bit more, adjustments and dealing with the new properties when the paint is super old. You can do it. Just going to grab a couple of these and just sort of pull them down, see if we can get a little verticality to these. Something like that. Ooh, what's that? I'm not sure. Something in the water. And now I'll take a little bit of that white, a little bit of liquid white. Has a touch of off color to it, that's fine. Wipe my knife. Let's get a new roll here. That's kind of big. Maybe we'll try the small edge of the knife. Just sneak a little water line right there. Now I can get at it with the bigger knife, bigger side. Alright, well, I do see this little thing wants to get fixed. A little highlight there. There's like a little extra rock kind of coming over there. Little water line. Well, that was super fun. I like the cabin. I thought I did okay on it today. So, ooh, lordy, did I forget, didn't I? I did forget. Did have a little something here. Doot, 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 doot. Doot, 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 doot. All right, here we go. I think we have room for something here. Little tough going on that very thin highlight. Got a little bit up in the trunk there, but that's not so bad. Skinny little tree. There we go. Now we'll take a little bit of the white, touch of brown in it. Let's give this tree a little indication of some highlight on this side here. Whoops, last one, hit it a little weird, but maybe a little bit of white on a couple of spots here. All right, let's take our old liner here. I'm thinning down the paint thinner, some of the Dyke Brown, get a couple of dead limbs here. Let's first extend that up and out. And when I was teaching that class at the Michigan DNR, they kind of schooled me a little bit on some branches and calling them alternating or opposite style branches. That just means that they're not growing out of the same spot. They're alternating, one kind of going off to the left and going off to the right. And other trees have branches going from both spots. Just right in the same opposite of each other. Get it? Opposite or alternating. There we go. Fun little dead tree. And let's thin down a color here. Let me give a little signature over on this side. Little t, little s, 24. Running out of months to do 24s. Soon it'll be 25. So here we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little painting, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.